Well, hello dear friends from Bangalore, India. There's a great little place you can stop and get a dosa, some filtered coffee. It's a great little place for breakfast. It's right near Cubbon Park. It's called Mavali Tiffin Rooms, and this is a great place to stop. It's got a lot of local folks that are hanging out, having their coffee and their chai and their tea and their morning dosa. But it's a great place to stop over, get a little bite to eat before you start the rest of your day in Bangalore. This place is fantastic. The food is wonderful. The dosa, they serve it with a little tiny cup of ghee to pour over it. It's just a wonderful way to start your morning. It's a great breakfast. Mavali Tiffin Rooms. I'm at the Krishnarajendra Market. It's probably about as local of a market as you can get. This place is just packed, crowded full of vegetables and flowers and spices and people going about their daily business, finding their daily commodities, their vegetables, the things they're going to make, some spices, things for dinner. That kind of thing. It's a city of about 15 million people, so about 10 million less than Mumbai, but feels as busy, as active, as alive as Mumbai. Of course, Bangaluru is known as the Silicon Valley, the tech hub of India, but it also is this, intersection of the past, the present, and the future. So. It's a really interesting crossroads, especially for Indian culture. The young, upwardly mobile, educated IT professionals are based out of here, but you will find IT professionals and cows and carts and everything just mashed into one. This is not, unlike India. This is one of those places that represents the crossroads that India is at as a country. Well, a park like this is a welcome relief from the crush of the city and the traffic and the market and just the crush of people that are here. Everybody's just trying to get their business done during the day, and this city is bursting at the seams with people and tuk-tuks and markets and noise. But right in the center, you have this park called Cubbon Park. It was designed in 1870, and it's grown to about 300 acres. And it's a welcome respite in the middle of Bangaluru, where you can come and take a little bit of a rest from the noise and the bustle and sort of get back in touch with nature and feel a little bit more connected. You'll see all sorts of activities here, people playing. There's tennis courts, there's families here playing in the grass with their kids. There's lots of different flora and fauna that encompasses 300 acres here. But it's certainly a welcome place to dip into after experiencing the city in all its intensity. So there's this thing that happens with the traffic, it's all running past you, horns and jostling and trying to get in front of each other. And then, of course, once it gets to a point where it's all jammed up behind a stop sign or a policeman, it just gets sort of eerily quiet for a second until this happens behind me. Now the traffic is moving. Now it all comes back to life. Everything's moving again. The horns are beeping. People are jockeying for the front to get in front of the car or the tuk-tuk beside them or in front of them. It's just strange how at a moment this whole sort of thriving, pulsating traffic mess grinds to a halt, and everything becomes quiet for just a minute. People's minds are allowed to drift, and you can see it in their eyes. Everybody wants to get home, but there's almost a relief when the traffic stops and people can take a breath before the traffic starts moving again. It's a real interesting way of sort of moving. This guy went right up onto the sidewalk here. There we go. It's getting around that guy. So that tuk-tuk like drove right up into the sidewalk. So I was trying to get around him. So this, my friends, is known as Food Street down here in Bangalore. This happens every evening. It really starts to heat up around 7 o'clock. You'll find all sorts of snacks, street food here. There's probably over 100 food stalls selling different food specialties. They have, that's me, that's me. All right, nice work. Those guys just subscribed to my channel. Good guys. There's probably over 100 street food stalls here. They serve everything from pav bhaji to potato twisters to dabeli to gola. Pretty much anything that you find on the street, they've all collected into one place. This really starts heating up around 7 o'clock. You'll find twala pavlov, momos, caddy rolls, noodles, gobi Manchurian. This is basically kind of like all the heavy hitters when it comes to street food here in Bangalore and, you know, southern India as well. And this little number is called dabeli, which I think is completely appropriate given the fact that that's exactly where it's going to live in a little bit. So this is just a real, it's kind of a spicy little kind of gravy inside this bun. There's some chickpeas and some other things. It's almost like definitely tomato based, and like there's these like dried noodles on top of it. Yeah, it tastes great. It's like kind of a bun with sauce in the middle. Really fantastic. It's a little bit spicy, but I'm totally happy with it. So this is that marsala dosa. They just wrap it up. They give you that like coconut sauce. Give it a try here. Wow, that's just wonderful. It's like crispy and spicy. And inside it has like kind of a spiced potato with a marsala. It's like a little wrap, you know. All that great potato is just sort of wrapped up inside the dosa. They said it was spicy, but it's not. I wouldn't call it overly spicy. And the white one's coconut, right? That chutney's really good. Oh man, that looks so good. Well, good morning, dear friends from Bangalore. I'm on my way today to Mysore to tour some of this palace and some of the grounds there. It's about a 2.5, maybe 2 hour, 2.5 hour train ride. So you may have noticed that I kind of switch between Bangalore, Bangaluru, Mysore, Mysuru. India is sort of going through a renaming process. It has been for a few years. Several of the cities that you've known as one name are now becoming another. So, for example, Bangalore officially has been changed to Bangaluru. So you may notice from time to time that I switch pronunciations in my videos. That's not unlike India is sort of switching. It's in a bit of a transition right now. So some of these names stick. So you can think about something like Bombay becoming Mumbai. That seems to have been one of those easier transitions. Bangalore, on the other hand, seems to be sticking versus Bangaluru, which is like a whole other syllable, I suppose. So if you see me switching back and forth or hear me switching back and forth on the video, it's not uncommon that you would hear that in the city as well. Well, before hitting the palace, I decided to stop over and get a little bit of bite to eat. I haven't had any breakfast yet, so I got off the train, walked over to this great little restaurant. You know, I'm having a similar thing that I had at the food street yesterday in Bangalore. So just another marsala dosa. Again, it's always served with this sort of coconut and sort of a red spicy chutney. It's great hand food, you know, something quick to grab, and they're always tasty. This is about a 2.5 hour train ride from Bangalore. I figured I'd pop down here in the morning train and take a look at the sights and offerings in Mysuru. They have a really amazing palace here that's second visited site in India, only second to the Taj Mahal. There's a really cool market here and a couple other things. So I had a great dosa already this morning. I got my day started, and I'll see if I can give you a little bit of a taste of inside the palace while I'm here. So Mysuru is known for the palace, obviously, but it's also known for a lot of the handicrafts that we'd find in different places. So things like wood carving and spices and incense, essential oils. A lot of the smaller markets have farm fresh produce that's brought in from the villages. The city is full of people with smaller handicrafts and making small businesses, carving, making tables and chairs and bedposts and swings. This is the Devaraja market. Now this market sells every type of vegetable, fruit, just a wonderful, you know, flower market. It's full of spices as well. People come here in the early afternoon to get their flowers and their fresh vegetables and their spices. It's really a great place to visit. Most of it's covered, so you're sort of out of the heat, but you do get just to see all these wonderful colors, and I just love walking through places like this. You can really just take in all of the, you know, local sort of vegetables and fruits and flowers. It's a pretty lovely place. You know, it smells wonderful here. You know, they have plenty of spices and vegetables and fruits that you can choose from. People are here making arrangements with flowers, just stringing them together. They're selling them by weight. It's pretty amazing, just visually, and all of your senses would be delighted here. So one of the really interesting things about Mysuru is how they take these old sort of colonial era buildings and basically just completely repurpose them. Like the building behind me, you know, it could have been a telegraph office or a post office or a stable or a police station or a barracks. But now it's basically, you know, the ground floor is this huge market. And it's really interesting, the past, you know, and the present sort of fused into one when it comes to the architecture. You know, this place obviously retains some of the history in its buildings and its structure, but it's found a way to adapt that to the new era of this commerce and the street markets and the people looking to do their business here. But it's just such an interesting backdrop to see these buildings that were once, you know, formerly, you know, probably, you know, governmental buildings, now sort of as the backdrop to the current and present day commerce that we see. So Mysore has a lot of that if you pay close attention all around you here. Oh, this is such a great kind of clock tower. It serves as a central square here around the marketplace. And you can see that all around me, we have, you know, all around this central clock tower, you have, you know, this huge market. They're selling flowers and vegetables and fruit and snacks and bags and stationery and just about anything you need. You can come to this central market and find it. Oh, you happen to be looking for a cow? Well, they got one of those too.